If you've been feeling like you don't know what's next or where to go from here, perhaps you've also been thinking, I'm doing everything right, but I'm not gaining any momentum. Or perhaps you have this dream percolating in your heart, but you always feel like it will always be out of reach for you, or that it's just not meant for you. Then you likely have one of these 7 patterns blocking you from wealth, success, and the impact that you truly are meant to have. I'm going to walk you through what these patterns are, how they show up, and what you can do to overcome them by the end of this video. Now, I'm betting that these 7 patterns blocking your income, growth, and impact are going to sound very familiar. And that's because you've been living with them for so long and you've learned to cope with them, but no one has ever given you the practical tools to look at these patterns, understand them, take the learnings, and transcend and overcome them so that you can achieve your goals from a clear mind, from a peaceful state, and from an empowered state. And that's what I'm going to walk you through today. So if any of these resonate, I'd love to know how they've shown up in your life. So I'm going to start to pop them up on the screen so that you can follow along with me. So the first pattern is fear. Fear is like the invisible brakes. And the way that it can show up is you're terrified of failing and maybe even more scared of succeeding. You're possibly waiting for the perfect moment, delaying or overthinking every move. You're talking yourself out of risks. You're scared of rejection, and the inner voice says that you're not ready. And perhaps the fear of out-earning your partner or your family and what will it mean for your relationships is likely all driven from fear. Fear keeps you shrinking your vision, choosing safe and staying stuck at the same level. Shame. This is the worthiness wound. It might show up for you as you secretly believe your past defines your worth. You downplay your wins because deep down you wonder if you really deserve them. You secretly believe that your current success was a result of luck, and you doubt your ability to expand it, feeling like you have to earn the right to want more. Shame just keeps you invisible when your dreams need you to be seen. Guilt. This is the permission stealer. It shows up as you feel bad for wanting more than those around you, holding back so you don't outshine or succeed more than your family and friends, saying yes to things that you don't want to say yes to. You're downplaying your success so that others feel more comfortable. You feel torn. You chase the bigger dream or stay where it feels safe. Guilt, it just keeps you loyal to your past and not to your future. Worry. This is the mental treadmill. It shows up as you're living in what if land, imagining the worst case scenario before they even happen. You overthink so much you end up doing nothing, playing every decision over and over in your mind. You're struggling to rest because you feel you should be doing something productive. You constantly second guess investments in yourself like coaches, certifications, business growth, trainings, etc. Worry just keeps you exhausted before you even start. Hurt is the closed door. It shows up as you carry the sting of being overlooked for opportunities in the past. You're guarding yourself from the disappointment of being unappreciated or dismissed, avoiding vulnerability in business and relationships, struggling to trust your own decisions. Hurt builds walls. It also blocks the very opportunities that you are craving. Anger. This is the frustration loop. It shows up as you're grinding harder than ever, but you're watching others leap ahead faster and it eats up at you. Snapping at yourself for not being further ahead by now. Resentment toward people who have it easier. Avoiding taking action because you don't want to be disappointed. Anger is often a mask for feeling powerless. Sadness. This is the energy drain. It shows up as you're grieving missed opportunities, past mistakes, and what ifs or what could have been. You grieve the years you perceive as wasted in a role that you didn't feel truly fulfilled by. You're replaying old memories that still hurt, struggling to see possibilities beyond where you are now. Sadness keeps your focus on what's behind you instead of what's ahead. Now that you know what the 7 patterns are, the next thing would be for you to pull out your journal, whether digital or physical, sit with each of these and see which ones feel most resonant in your body, and journal out. How is it showing up in your life right now? How is the fear, hurt, worry, shame, guilt, anger, and sadness showing up in your life right now as it relates to your big goal? The other thing I would recommend that you do is close your eyes, think of that one emotion, and feel in your body, where is it present? Where are you feeling the guilt? Is it in your chest, in your stomach, in your throat, in your head? Really feel into where in the body you can feel the guilt. Now, I'd love for you to ask yourself, what color is this emotion? What color is the guilt? What color is the fear? Can you see any colors such as full color or black and white? Next, I'd love for you to ask, are there any sounds present? When you think of this particular emotion, can you hear any sounds? What voices do you hear, and whose voice is it? Can you see a shape? And how big, small, or medium is the feeling in your body? Now we need to put some more aspects and attributes to that emotion so that you can fully process it. Now, after you have done that exercise, if it feels safe to do so in a quiet place with very calm music without any words to it, what would it look like if you were to allow yourself to feel into the emotion and understand it a little bit more? What is it trying to tell you? Whatever comes up, that's what you can journal on. For me, the emotion of guilt taught me how much I was holding myself back from achieving my bigger goals in life. What guilt taught me when I sat with it to process it, understand it, and learn from it was that I was carrying a big load of responsibility for the trajectory of my mom's life. I was born to a teen mom. My mom had me at age 17, and from that moment on, the trajectory of her life completely shifted. She had dreams of becoming a nurse and working in the medical field, and then when she had me, her focus became survival and making sure that I was well taken care of and that she was taken care of. A few years later, she met my stepfather, had 2 more children, became a stay-at-home mom, and her dreams of being in the medical field completely went poof. For many, many years, I carried this guilt with me as a way to subconsciously remember that I was not allowed to succeed and persevere further than my mom did. Then that would mean that I took away a dream of a 17-year-old girl. And I didn't know that or consciously understand that until I did this exercise that I just walked you through. Once I transmuted the guilt, I was able to finally feel like I was breathing again. I was able to learn from that instance and from that emotion and understand that it was not my fault. It was not my fault that my mother did not pursue her dreams in the medical field. It is not my fault that my mother's trajectory went in the direction that it did. I am not responsible for other people's lives. I learned so much from processing guilt that I showed myself compassion. I showed the 17-year-old girl that was my mom compassion in my heart and in my mind as I processed that emotion, and ultimately realized that the best thing that I can do for myself and for my mom to honor my mom and that 17-year-old girl was to achieve my goals. That is the best way that I can honor that sacrifice. That is what felt right. These patterns, these emotions are unique to all of us. They will be unique to you and your life experiences. Now, don't be surprised that as you're processing these emotions, some things might come up that you feel like they don't belong to you because they don't make sense to the life experience that you've had up to now. It's normal that we carry the emotions of up to 14 generations from before us. It's called epigenetics, and that means that maybe perhaps 3 generations ago, someone in your family went through an event that caused a deep-seated shame. But you, in your life up to now, you've never experienced anything that could logically give you a sense of shame, but something in you feels like there is shame, and it's likely that it's not yours and that it simply came from a generation prior. And you can still work these steps and process these emotions so that you can transmute them. And anytime you feel like these emotions are not yours, this is where I would recommend definitely working with a coach one-on-one to help you transmute past generational inherited emotions. Because while you can process some of this with the steps that I have given you, some things are more deep-rooted and deep-seated in the subconscious mind that you'll need some support. And now you have the keys in your hand and you know what you can do about it so that you can overcome these emotions and let them go so that you can approach achieving your goals from a place of clarity, of ease, of full empowerment, and just complete satisfaction that you are achieving the goals that you have in your heart from a place of full deservingness, and you can enjoy them and sustain them, and you can feel so regulated in your mind and body. Once you've done the practical steps of looking at each emotion, sitting with it, journaling on what does it need to teach you, how is it showing up in your life, and you look at the aspects of that emotion, such as the color, the sound, the size, the location, where it is in your body, and you've sat with it and allowed yourself to feel it, and you find that you still need additional support, this is where I'd love to introduce you to Neural Energetic Encoding. This is a powerful modality that I'm skilled in and trained in, and help so many of my clients overcome and transmute all of these emotions so that they can walk out feeling clear and so connected to their big goals. Neural Energetic Encoding is a modality that works with the subconscious mind. It works with your unique encoding of how you store memories from the ages of 0 through to now, and even generational memories. And now that might sound a bit over the top and a bit woo-woo, but if you're here, this means that you are ready to hear these concepts. Through Neural Energetic Encoding, we are accessing how your subconscious mind has been processing each of these emotions so that we can look at them, understand them, transmute them, and dissolve their power altogether. What often happens after a Neural Energetic Encoding session is that clients feel lighter, like they can breathe and exhale more deeply. They have clarity of mind of what their next step should be from a place that feels empowered and self-assured. Wouldn't you love to feel that way? The process takes anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes, and it feels like a meditation. So if you can close your eyes, breathe deeply, and just relax for a little bit, you can go through this technique. And I would be so honored to walk you through the experience. And if you are interested in a one-on-one session to help you release and dissolve each of these emotions, let me know in the comments below. I'll drop a link where you can reach out to me and we can schedule something. I hope all of this information today has been so helpful and will serve you in understanding what might be blocking you right now, causing you to feel stuck, or like you're not gaining the momentum that you think you should have, or that perhaps that dream that you have in your heart and in your mind are truly possible, and you are ready to clear out the gunk and clear the runway by going through some of these practical steps that I gave you in the video. And now the keys are in your hand. Now you know what to do. You know how these patterns are showing up for you in your life, and you know what next steps to take. It is all up to you to either continue feeling what you've been feeling up to now, or now take the reins into your hand and overcome each of these patterns and go on to live this life that you know you are meant to have. I am so happy and so honored that you have taken the time to listen through all of this information. Do let me know how this helped you, and I will see you in the next one.